So coming into this matchup, we are Xbalanque and Horus into a Yemoja and Izanami. And Horus has a lot of kill pressure and kill potential with his CC and high damage, being a warrior. But Xbalanque has really low clear, and Horus isn't really going to help him with the clear too much. Or they have Yemoja and Izanami, and that is going to pressure the minions so hard that if we try to just go in there and use Horus's kill pressure that he brings to the table, we will not be able to do that because the minions will turn on us and kill us very, very quickly because of how fast they clear. So for the start that we do, we started the purple buff like normal, and then we go to the Elder Harpy and clear the Elder Harpy, knowing that they will outclear us anyway. So we let the minions come close to our tower line, and we try not to get poked out as much as we can while trying to clear the wave. We get poked out pretty hard. They're actually applying the pressure. Sometimes you have to test your lane opponent just to make sure they're actually going to use their character the way that it's intended. You may notice I keep checking the scoreboard. That's to see how many potions the enemy players have left. And so you can see here our jungle jumps into the lane while we don't have any pressure to really help him and fight with him. We try to body block him and body block the Bakasura and save him, but it's not really enough, and we didn't have anything to help him with there. There was no real kill potential for us, and it goes kind of badly. It gives them 2 free kills. It's not the end of the world that both jungles ganked and it went in the other team's favor. I'm still alive as the carry, and it's most important for the carry to be alive getting farm. You don't want your support or your jungle to fall behind, but if your carry falls behind, it's really hard for him to come back into the game. So keeping the carry alive is really important. And you can see right now I'm getting solo farm. So while they're doing their purple buff, I'm clearing the wave, trying to get lane pressure back so that we can get our purple buff without having to miss any farm. So now we're back kind of at the wave, hitting about the same time, and they get there just slightly sooner. They're going to out pressure because they have all this minion clear potential here, and I'm going to try to save my Horus. Luckily he had dash. And so we just play back under tower. The tower is going to help us clear, but it's not the end of the world that we're getting less gold. It's not helpful, but it's not the end of the world. And even though the tower is attacking some minions, if you attack the minion that is not targeted, or minions that aren't targeted by the tower, you still get all the gold for it. You don't get reduced gold for that, even though they're in tower range. My support's doing a good job just playing passive and letting the wave come up, not being too aggressive, even though he's Horus and he has all that kill potential. This matchup doesn't really help him, doesn't really make use of that kill potential. Alright, Yemoja gets a great ult off, but it's not enough to secure the kill, especially because I was able to hit the ult in position out of their vision range, and so Izanami wasn't able to follow up very well. So I know that they're going to their purple buff. So mine should be free to get. We don't need to be the first ones back into lane. to clear that, because we can get this purple buff. I have enough gold for Transcendence, and I can start stacking. And being able to stack is kind of worth losing this wave here that's going to go to tower. Make sure to pick up wards while I was in base. This is going to be really important. So since the wave is pushed up, I'm able to just last shot the minions. Izanami is missing. I still haven't been able to put the wards out yet, which is fine. I need these last shots. I need the wave to stay back here so that she has to come up, making herself vulnerable if she does want to try to attack or clear the wave. So now that she's here, I'm going to try to out clear. I know that by using my bolas, I'm going to aggro the wave closer to me, which lets me clear the wave some. She's going to back off and not pressure me into tower. And that's going to give me time to be able to put the wards out. I know that Bakasur is in right jungle, so I need to be careful. Yeah, she went into the jungle and did her Elder Harpy, then came back to lane. And I had already gotten lane pressure. So I'm able to clear the wave here, getting a little bit of poke on Izanami. And this is where the lane begins to turn around. Izanami and Yemoja had lane pressure on me all early game, but they weren't able to capitalize on a kill or able to set me behind. Now I'm in a position where I have lane pressure on Izanami, and I can do things to keep her from being able to farm. When you get a kill, it's important that you take as much farm as you can without overextending yourself. If you overextend yourself, then you don't get to exploit the lead that you had anyway. So you're just giving it right back to them. So even though my Elder Harpy and my purple buff were up, I knew she would want to invade because I had just invaded hers, and my mid was able to rotate from going to his red camp to going to the purple camp, because now she has to be so far extended that she's up there. And that's another reason to have that ward up there. We know that she's on the purple camp before she gets there, before she even gets there and starts doing the camp, because we have the ward seeing that she's going there. And having these wards out and controlling wards and counter warding is really important to be able to make plays. The more that you have those wards out, the more of those kinds of plays that you'll be able to do, and they won't be able to get away with invading and winning team fights as much, right? So if they had a ward at top right, then they would have seen that I was coming in and they needed to get out of that fight. And maybe they did have a ward and they just didn't pay attention, but you got to use wards and pay attention. Sometimes people say that, warding is a waste of gold, but like, you get the gold back when you get kills from people not positioning well. So right now we see on the ward that Izanami is going to mid, which is a terrible rotation because she's 2 levels down. Her purple buff is up, and she's fighting somebody who's 2 levels above her. Even if she wanted to make a play off of that, she's not going to be able to, because she doesn't have farm. She doesn't have any way of knowing that, hey, mid laner, or maybe she's not paying attention. She doesn't have anything to do in mid while she's missing farm in dual lane. And then she comes into me, who's 3 levels up on her and able to out trade. Even if she hit way more than I did, I out trade right there because I'm levels ahead, fully stacked Transcendence, and she's just going to miss farm by fighting me in that situation. So in that situation, if we both hit 100% of everything, I win. So it's not smart to do that unless you think that your lane opponent is not able to hit for whatever reason. And then after the fight, I let Horus take the purple buff, since I had the purple buff from the invade, and I'll probably get the next invade too. So I know that him having it and me having it is really good, because it gives protection shred and attack speed. And on really aggressive warriors like Horus, or really high damage early game supports like Horus, it really helps to be able to land those autos, especially if he has power boots. He's going to hit the players more often, and usually for about 70 in auto. So here Izanami and I trade a little bit. Izanami focused on hitting me with her autos instead of hitting the wave. If she had focused on hitting the wave, I would have gotten free poke. If she had just gone back to the tower, I would not have been able to poke as easily, and she would not have lost as much health. Here she dives in because she thinks she can secure the kill. So I ult to blind her and hit a long range auto, but I wasn't able to finish her off. And luckily I juked the ultimate. And I see on a war that Bakasura is coming. I know my mid is in the area too, but I have to get out before I just end up being a free kill. And they're gonna F6. They really could have continued to play the game. They weren't completely out of it. But some people don't like having an uphill battle, especially with teammates that they're probably really frustrated with. But it makes you a better player. And thanks everybody for watching the video. I really hope that it helped with understanding how to play defensively when you get kind of counterpicked, and how to deal with a high pressure duo lane.